Good morning, precious. Thank you. Mwah, 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 mwah. How you doing, baby? Happy. What's today? Monday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Dang. Hey, you act like I asked you to do a whole lot. When you get a minute, just when you get a few minutes, yeah. Hit subscribe. Look at some of the videos. If you see anything that you like, please just hit share. I know I got into Ruthless. I know it was hard to get into for a minute, but it seemed like every time I go to sleep and wake up, I'm on a different part, a different episode, a different season, and it's like it seemed like it's something going on, and then I got to go back and try to figure out what it is. So it's good. It got my attention. I ain't gonna even lie. It's got my attention. So, guys, how y'all doing today? How you feel for a Monday? You all right? Your Monday getting off to a good start? Is it going according how you planned it to, pretty much? Yeah, because you planned for it, right? Meaning yesterday you was getting prepared for today. I know tomorrow ain't promised. I know that. But at least give yourself a fighting chance, right? So you laid your clothes out. You wrote a plan out, agenda of what it was going to do, what you was going to do today. Yeah, so I hope everything flowing for you, y'all. Also, when you get a minute, get a copy of my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot, please and thank you. Yeah, you can get it from lulupublishing.com. Yeah. Ooh, I'm out of breath, y'all. I ran upstairs, back and forth, went to the car, carried my clothes up, because I got to change clothes. And I'm like, Lord, help me. My knees going out. I'm tired. So now that you're senior, speaking of getting old, senior citizen age, right? Now that you are seniors, we pretty much going through, let me see. You are seniors now, so I go through things I can throw things at you. Because lately we've been talking about an array of things. If you just think about the segments that we just had, talking about the boys to men, we talked about some of everything. We dipped off into a couple of manipulation tips. We talked about some of the things that you can do to help your young men. We talked about a lot for co-parenting. You know, what you and your baby mama and your baby daddy can do. So we've been covering a lot. Talking about the manipulation tips from your 9th grade year, right? So now that you're seniors, we're looking at the psychological damage that it's caused your baby. If your baby mama or your baby daddy is using manipulation tips, fix it, Jesus, on the baby. And we're looking at the adverse effect that it might have on your baby now. When you remove a child from a parent and there's no abuse or neglect, things don't turn out right. Like, because it's times when you do have to remove a child. It's times when you do have to restrict visitation. It is times when you have to have supervised visitations. It is times for that. But usually in that case, that means something has happened, right? Something has happened for you to remove this baby. Something has happened for you to have to be there while this other parent is visiting this child. Something has had to happen. Right? So you just can't remove a child because you mad. You can't remove a child because you hurt. You can't remove a child because you haven't got no relationship. You can't remove a child because this baby mama, baby daddy is doing better than you since the breakup, right? You can't do that. Those are personal reasons. When you remove a child, it got to be because they getting the hell beat out of them every day for no reason. Soon as they come home from school, this parent is knocking them up against the wall just because. This parent is not feeding them. This parent is not cleaning this baby. This parent don't have running water and lights, and they're not properly taking care of this child. Every time you see your baby raggedy and their hair not done. That's when you have cause for concern. That's when you start taking the necessary steps that it takes to start either helping this parent provide for this child or remove this child, right? So when you remove a child and there's no reason to, it starts a domino effect, right? And sometimes it starts something that you can't control or even stop, right? It just pretty much starts rolling out of control like a ball at the top of a hill, a snowball, and how it starts off small and then it just rolls and keep rolling. Before long, you can't stop it. So some of these relationships that you now entered into and intervened and interrupted with the baby mama and child or the baby daddy and child, now it's a situation where you just wanted to get up under their skin, but rather than get up under their skin, that you done rip their whole arm off. Because of the manipulation tips and the games that you playing. Because that's what it is. It's like a game, right? And they won. Yep, if they have the child don't want nothing to do with you, your reputation is tarnished. Oh, they won. Clearly, they won, right? That child loses, though. Yeah, without you being in their life, they off balance, they off kilter, they missing some elements that they gonna need when they get older. Yeah, they definitely missing out and losing out without you being in their life. But that parent won. At the end of the day, right? So we speared off and we started talking about what it takes for a single mother to raise up a young man, because a man can't raise a little girl to be a woman, and a woman can't raise a little boy to be a man. So we had 5 segments to break down some things, Mom, that you can do to kind of help you along the way if you are raising a child without a father, right? And even if the dad is in the life, some of those things that I mentioned to you, you should be doing anyway. Yeah, but for the most part, our main goal was making sure this young man grow up to be somebody and something, right? So positive role models, there will be things missed if you don't have dad and positive role models put in place. Stuff might not stick. Meaning you might have told them, you might have instilled it, you did all you could, but you still find yourself repeating yourself and they grown, right? So, from that, yesterday I mentioned how the mother of my ex-husband played a part in the demise of the marriage and the separation from me and my daughter. And I know that's a lot to blame on somebody, right? Like, yeah, Shakenya, you must have had a part to play. You must have did something wrong. No. I'm going to tell you no, right? I did the same thing I did with all my other children. And it was working with my other children, right? So you're not going to tell me if I had to do it all over again, I would. The only thing that I would do differently is I wouldn't have shared her with them. And there would have been supervised visitation until I felt otherwise. Meaning every time they saw her, she was with me. So I would have known everything they were doing. I would have known everything that they were saying, and they wouldn't have been able to do nothing without my say so and my okay. That's how tight I am on my children. So all this that I'm going through now, I would never have thought. It was all done behind my back and covertly. So that means betrayal was involved, right? So that means that's a lesson learned from my baby, betrayal, right? How to mistreat people, right? How not to respect someone, right? So, yeah, I swear, I pray every day that her morals and values become aligned, right? Because if you're raising a child to not love and respect the other parent, yeah, their morals and values can't add up and align, right? Family values definitely are not going to be aligned, because you can't tell a child to be a sibling to this child and not be a sibling to this child, and they both their siblings, right? So when I say that in my daughter's demise, so I want to just share a couple things. Bring out a couple of viewpoints, because I'm not really sticking to just one topic, because we've talked about so much within the past week that I got to touch on everything that we discussed. So I'm going to give you a couple of viewpoints for why I feel this way. So continuing with the boys to men segment, now your boys are men. Yep, I know. So whatever you did up until now, these are the men that you raised, right? This is the product of everything that you've done. So now your job is not going to get easier. Yep, you single-handedly raising this young man. Yep, your job is not going to get easier. But now that they're grown, you're going to be either repeating certain things, which I hope you're not, but you might have to, right? And introducing new things now that they're young men, right? So everything not going to be so simple and clear cut, but I'll give you an example. Let's just say you instilled in them taking out the trash ever since they was little. So now that they older, You don't have to tell them to do that no more. They just instinctively go in. If they at your house, they see the trash full, they just go and just throw it away. That's stuck, right? So now that's stuck. Now you can move on to something else. You can teach them something else. You can give them a new directive. You can teach them something new now to replace that, because you're not repeating yourself. But if you have to repeat yourself every time you see them, you got to tell them to take out the trash, that's probably going to delay the educational process, because you can't teach them nothing else until they learn this. Right? I can't teach you nothing. You can't even take out the trash, right? We did that when you was a kid, right? I know, Mom. So it's good for them to see another man do it. I know they got to see it. They got to see it to see it in themselves, right? So, so I have to say it, do it when they are there. It's instinctive to them. You don't have to repeat yourself. Add a new directive, a new lesson. Teach them how to fix something. Take trash out, didn't steal that. Pick it up, didn't see a man do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm repeating myself. I'm trying to stay the script, but I just told y'all that. Man have to do, so Mom, you have to do check-ins with them to make sure everything that you tried to teach them stuck, right? You can do this by, let's see, watching them. Yeah, they mannerisms. Yeah, are they acting like a gentleman when you see them out in front, when y'all out together? Are they opening the door for you, Mom? Are they pulling the chair out for you, Mom? Are they helping you take your coat off, Mom? Are they doing these things? Are they walking protectively with you, Mom? Meaning that, are they walking on the side of the curb, right, when y'all together? So these are things you got to make sure you got to watch and see if they do with you, and if they do with their little sisters, and how they treat the other women in the family. How do they talk to the women in the family, right? How do they behave when do they take their head off when they come in the house? Are they pulling their pants up so you ain't looking at their butt? Are they respectful when the women come in? Are they watching what they say, the language when they're around the children? Like, you got to watch these mannerisms, Mom, because if you don't see that, you got to check them and you got to repeat it. You got to tell them. You got to keep constantly reminding them of who they are as men and what they're supposed to be doing. You have to keep saying, because you got to keep saying it. I don't want you to nag them, but you got to say it enough times to where it's ringing in their head that this is what they're supposed to do. It's ringing in their head to open this door for this lady. It's ringing in their head to offer to take this woman's groceries to the car. It's ringing in their head to get out and shovel the snow. It's ringing in their head to take the garbage out. It's ringing in their head to write. You know what I'm saying? It got a ring in their head, right? So you got to say it over and over again. How they take care of their sisters' conversations. You can tell in conversations. Yep, certain conversations that you have with them, how they respond, what they say, it helps you to regulate their mental capacity. If they're maturing as men, right? You will know if they still talking young and talking ignorant, right? Because you know when they're young, they ignorant, they do things, they make mistakes. But as they get older, they're not repeating the same mistakes. They doing things differently. They moving differently, right? They listening to that voice that's ringing in their head from you not nagging. I'm sorry, Mama, but from you constantly saying it, right? So their mentality when they talk to you is mature, right? They shouldn't still be talking that same stuff they was talking when they was 14 and 15. Now that they in their 30s and their 20s and their 30s, they should be speaking differently, right? The ignorance shouldn't be, they should be maturing, right? So you want to check out for them, or you want to make sure they're maturing mentally as men. What they should be doing. You can find out how they feel through conversation. Because, Mom, you got to make sure they're ready to pass on to the next. Yep. That woman in their life, the wife, you got to make sure you getting them ready to pass on. Even a husband. If you want to make sure they good for whoever they decide to be with, right? You want to make sure they ain't trifling. They taking care of their business. They standing on business. You know, they adulting. They doing things that they supposed to be doing. They're progressing in life. You want to make sure they good for the next person that they end up with, right? So that's the wife. Yeah, I know you love your son, Mom. He been there for you. You ain't had no men. He been there for you all this time. But at some point, you got to realize this is your son and not your man. And it is a difference, right? You definitely don't want to have an inappropriate relationship with your son, Mom. Yep. And that doesn't always mean of a sexual nature. Let me say that. But an inappropriate relationship is an inappropriate relationship no matter how you slice and dice it. You don't want to have that with your son, right? So, meaning that, mom, you need a life. You need a companion. You need something to do so that you ain't always meddling in his relationship with his wife. Right? You want to be there more so as like a guidance or there if needed type situation, right? Like if she need help from you because they going through something, and since you being mom, you should be able to help. Like I remember he used to have nightmares, and when I asked her about the nightmares, she made me think I was crazy. Like I didn't know. She always made me feel like I wasn't good enough for her son. Right? So anytime I would talk to her or say something, it was always of looking down upon me when she speaks to me. Like I was just so irritating her. She was a nasty. Oh, she had such a nasty attitude. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. But when his dad lived with me, when he left us and left his dad, and his dad lived with me, his dad asked me about those nightmares. So that means he had those nightmares when he was a child, and mom never bothered to find out what or why this young man was troubled, right? Yeah, you got to pay attention to your baby. Be on top of everything. Your baby walking around sad all the time, something wrong. Kids should be happy and joyous and outside playing around and whatnot, right? So if your child is always withdrawn or just sad, always depressed, something is wrong. If your baby ain't telling you what it is, you got to take them to somebody that they will tell, right? Because something is wrong. Right. So you can't tell me him having nightmares as a child wasn't a signal for her to take him to somebody and get some help to find out what demons he fighting. Right. What's going on with him. Right. So mom, when he do get married, you not losing a son, you gaining a daughter. So do you know what that means? That means that you got two people to do what you need done. That means you run her ass around just like you run your son around, right? But you're not losing nobody. Meaning you're not competing for your slot. You're not competing for the love of your son. You're not doing the Fred Sanford. Like when I was married to him, every time he wouldn't move or come when she called, she'd play that, I'm going to the hospital, I'm sick. I'm coming to join you, honey. You know what I'm saying? All the time. It was always an emotional drain. It was always something, right? I believe if she had a man, I'm not going to say me and him still would be married right now. You know, ain't no telling. And I'm not going to say we would or would not have met. But we definitely would have been married a little bit longer if she wasn't meddling in our marriage, if she had her own business to tend to. Yeah. So, don't lose a son, you gain a daughter. Once he get married, mom, it should be certain boundaries put in place. You know, you might need to put some boundaries in place if you had that type of relationship with your son to where he was all you had. You ain't never had no man. You counted on your son for everything to where this is all you got, right? Yeah, you might have to put some boundaries in place, mom. Especially if you a grandmama. Yeah. So, mom, don't want any inappropriate relationships with your son. You mad at every woman that he bring around, right? For no reason whatsoever. You're not even giving this young lady a chance. She ain't doing nothing right. Ain't none of these women good enough for your boy. And you treat them as such. Yeah, mom, you don't do that. Don't be like that, the wife, because you mad at the wife, you feel like she taking your son away from you. Yeah, she not taking him away from you, mom. It's not a power struggle. You still Queen Bee. Yeah, all you doing is just letting her wear the crown for a minute, and you fading off into the background just a little bit, right? Come when needed and called upon, right? But you still there, mama. Yeah, cause you mama, right? So, examples. I gave y'all some yesterday of inappropriate relationships that mamas have with their sons. Something that you might be familiar with if what I'm talking to you is going over your head. Number one, Jim Jones and his mama. Yes, I used to watch the show. Yes, I love Jim Jones and his mama. Yes, I do. But she took that woman down through there, that girlfriend that he was with. And I cannot think of her name right now, with her beautiful self, so she won't think I'm, being funny. I do not remember her name right now. Chrissy, yes. Mama Jones, oh God, she took Chrissy down through there, right? An appropriate relationship to have. It's okay to love your son. It's okay. But yeah, certain things that she did, I wouldn't call was appropriate for a mom to act and behave. Remember when she proposed to Jim? And remember when Mama got up and she got up and left, okay? That's number one. Number two, Scrappy and Mama D. Very inappropriate relationship. Oh, Mama D took them girls down there. She took them down through there. And I mess with Mama D. I love Mama D. When she say, first I do my lips, then my lashes, then my bras. And I don't, when she say, damn, I wish I knew the beat. But what is it? And my heels and my flats. In that order. You know what song I'm talking about. I mess with Mama D, right? But yeah, that relationship they had, yeah, it took them down through there. If that don't get you, you don't watch that, because I get a couple Caucasians jump in every now and then. Everybody loves Raymond. I love the show. Hilarious, right? I love Raymond, right? But if you watch the show, look how the mama treats Raymond versus the oldest son. Look how she favor Raymond. Look how she listens to how she talks to the wife, right? Nothing that the wife does is okay, and she always overrides the wife's decision. I know I don't want to ruin the show for you. I'm just saying, inappropriate relationship to have. Yeah, inappropriate relationship to have. Last but not least, Michael and his mama on the movie. Act like a woman, think like a man. You know what movie I'm talking about. Yeah. Inappropriate relationship to have. She took that girlfriend down through there. I even think she told her, don't marry my son. Don't you even marry my son. And Michael loved that girl. I can't think of her name right now. But Michael loved that girl, right? So, treated the wife, Michael and his mother, think like a woman, something like a man, right? A healthy mother-in-law relationship would be Claire Huxtable and her oldest daughter's husband, and how Cliff, how they treated him, right? How their parents treated him and Claire, right? How they welcomed them with open arms, how they were there for them when they needed guidance and questioning, how they would come together to give advice and stuff. That's the type of relationship that should be had with the mother-in-laws, right? So I said the Huxtables, active, yeah, so when the parents are active, yeah, certain boundaries, sometimes you got to ask, is it okay? Yeah, is it okay if I feed them this, right? Because you might have them on a special diet. Because things are different now from when the grandparents was coming up, right? Things have changed. Some stuff I will hope will stay the same, certain morals and values. But as we know, times change, times are different. So it might be a certain way that the parents might be raising the grandbabies versus how you was raising them. So it's sometimes okay to check in and ask, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that, right? Goodness, fix it, Jesus. Guidance to help you like a helpmate. You should be able to call on them for help and advice. Because mom, you know best. Because mom know best. A couple things I'm going to talk about. So you can see the difference when you have children, you have to share them, right? Sometimes you're not dropping the kids off over the parents' house. Sometimes you're dropping them off over the grandparents' house, right? Until that person get off work. Like I will drop her off every Friday at her house when I should have made him come pick her up. And that's not being mean. It's just that means that would have limited the time that she had to plant seeds and talk shit about me, right? Yeah, I should have stopped her from going over there, period. I shouldn't have took her over there, but I shared her. The same as I shared my oldest daughter with her grandmother, right? So you see the reaction that I got the other day from my oldest grandmother. She was happy to see me. She on the phone smiling. She even said, good morning, precious, and that brought a tear to my eye because that means she watched Coffee and Conversation, right? Oh, I love that woman to death. Same as I share my other daughter, I should have the same relationship, the same rapport. When I pull up, she should be speaking and waving to me just like the other grandparents. Yeah, because I treated them the same, right? So, fix it. Jesus. Difference when you have children and you have to share them, dropping off at the grandparents' house. Yesterday I shared the story, I just said that, about the grandmother. Share with both of them. Yeah, so you want to trust the people that you share your children with. I'm sorry it's a lecture today, guys. Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah, you want to trust them. So I should have been able to trust her when I dropped my baby off, right? You can't raise a child with somebody that doesn't like you. You can't. Not even a little bit. They got to love and respect you at some point. You cannot raise your children with people that don't love and respect you. You best believe if they don't like you, every time you drop that baby off, they poisoning that baby and they talking about you. And they talking bad about you. So just know, if you sharing your child with somebody that don't like you, don't do it. You ain't supposed to go nowhere your mama ain't invited to or your mama ain't welcome to. Right? Because I'm going through that right now, right? Your child should never have to make a choice. I'm just giving you some gems right now. Your child should never have to be put in a position where they got to make a choice on who they want to invite to special occasions and celebratory events, right? Y'all should be planning parties together for this child, right? It should never be a situation where a child should feel some kind of way if they want to invite this parent or that parent. Let me just throw that out there. Them just some tidbits for you, right? So, when someone is sharing your prized possessions, yeah, my children were my prized possessions. Yeah, my children were my way to get out the hood. My children was my way to millionaire status. My children were my team. My children were invested in everything that I was doing, and I invested in them. Right? Meaning that everything that I taught my children, all the rules to engagement, just any and everything that it takes to live and survive. All the magic powers, that gift to gab, that's truly a gift. So if you gave your child the gift to gab, meaning they can talk their way out of a paper bag, they can talk their way out of an ass whooping, that's a gift, right? Yeah, I gave them that, right? I gave them a lot of little gifts, a little trinkets that they can use. Never thought any of them would be used against me. I know. Ain't nothing like teaching your child to stand on business and stand on what they believe. But what they believe is what somebody else down told them about you. So now they standing on business against you. But you the one that instilled them standing on business. Yeah, I know that's how it happens when people use manipulation tips. When someone is sharing your prized possessions, yep, there shouldn't be much anger and hate there. Yep. That means she shouldn't have got up every time I pulled up to drop the baby off to her. I'm dropping my prized possession off to her, and she would get up and go in the house to avoid saying hi. How rude is that? I see your ass. I saw you sitting on the porch. That's how much she felt about me. Right? So my baby's seeing this every time I drop her off. So there's no telling what's said in the house as soon as she go in there after I done pulled off, right? I'm just trying to let you see why my situation is the way that it is, because there's no way I shouldn't be in my daughter's life, and it's going on 6 years. 6 years of no, I love you, Ma. Hey, Ma, how you doing, Ma? Me saying, hey, baby, I love you, baby. How you doing? How's your day? Me pulling up at school to see her. Her coming home to visit me when she come home. None of that in 6 years. Yep, so for there not to do it, I did, and as a result, there is no relationship. Yep. Yeah, don't do it. Because I could have kept her at home. I could have made it real difficult. Like I said, I could have waited till he got off work until he felt like coming to get her. Chances are, if I would have left it up to him to come and get her, he probably wouldn't have came and got her. I'm going to let that sit in for a second. This man that fought me so bad to come and get her, right? I dropped her off every Friday to this man. Every summer, no hesitation, no fussing, no fighting, no going down to the court, no stop. None of that, right? Fix it. Jesus. Yep, no fussing, no fighting. I played fair. Right? But I could have kept her. If I would have knew all this was going on, if I would have known how they really felt about me, they wouldn't have saw her. I wouldn't have took a chance on that. Like what I'm going through right now, working on plan B, yeah, I wouldn't have took a chance on that. So if I would have known how they really felt about me, meaning they wasn't smiling in my face and talking about me behind my back, yeah, I wouldn't have dropped her off over there. Yeah. So before knowing this, though, I definitely wouldn't have dropped her off at the grandma's house. He would have had to come and get her when he felt like it. Yeah. So if he didn't come and get her Friday, he can come get her Saturday, he can come get her whenever he felt like it. But it definitely wouldn't have been clockwork, because the main issue she had with him was him not spending time. You know, you got them parents that'll get the kids and the kids to be over their house, but they don't be there. So me dropping her off at the mama house, yeah, she was over there, typically, might as well say his house, but he wasn't there, right? So I'm just letting you know, y'all, play nice. Play nice. So that's time for her to plant seeds. Grandparents, don't talk to the baby about parenting concerns. Grandparents, please do not talk to your grandbabies about parenting concerns. If it's something that you don't like that the mama or the daddy is doing, address your son or daughter, or address the baby mama or the baby daddy. Do not address the child about it. I hate when your mama do this. I hate when your daddy do that. I hate when they always doing this and doing that. And then you say it over and over and over again. No, that's not the child's place. The child can't do nothing about it. Talk to the parents about it, right? And don't talk bad about the mama or the daddy. I don't care if it's a mama or daddy. If it's your son that ain't nothing or your daughter that ain't nothing. I don't care how you feel about them. Do not talk bad about them in front of the children. Preserve who their parents are. Right? Always make sure they see them in a good light. This is you instilling and helping them to love and respect their mother and their daddy no matter what. Yeah, for the life of me, I don't understand why she don't love me. Why wouldn't she love me? And you think it would be instinctive for your child to know that, but no, you got to tell them over and over again. Think about all the things you were told as a child, right? Respect your mama. Somebody probably told you that over and over again. A lot of people probably told you that. Love your mama no matter what. A lot of people probably told you that coming up as a child. Forgive your mama. Somebody probably told you that over and over again as you was a child. You only get one mama. Somebody probably told you that over and over again. You probably got beat up for talking about somebody's mama. Yeah, I'm quite sure. So just understand that wasn't done for my daughter on her father's side of the family. So now you got one side of the family that is doing that and one side of the family that's not. But that's equal to what that child should be doing. So if you got people that's making her feel comfortable that she don't have to respect her mama, she don't need her mama, she don't have to love and respect her mama, and you making her feel comfortable feeling like that, yeah, you done conditioned her mind to think it's so. So anything that's supposed to be, it doesn't stick. It doesn't resonate with that child because that child has been mentally conditioned to not love their mama, to not need their mama or daddy, to not talk to their mama or daddy. So that means somebody encouraging them not to talk to their mother and daddy, as to where technically they supposed to be encouraging that. Because as a child, they probably encouraged you to do that, right? I know it's a long one. I know. Ask permission, grandparents, to do anything when it comes to that baby. Anything that's going to alter their appearance. Meaning that if you're going to get their hair cut. Meaning if you're going to put their hair in braids. Meaning if you're going to take their braids out. I had an issue with this. Taking her to get her hair did at the salon. I told Dad, tell your mama stop doing it. There's no need for her to do it. I could see if every time she seen my baby, her hair was raggedy, but you see my videos. Y'all see how I do hair, right? I grew that baby hair all the way down her back. As soon as they start taking her to the hair salon, not only is her hair falling out from so many people putting their hands in it, right? But she in the beauty salon listening to grown women talk about their escapades from the night before. Fast tail ass girls coming in half naked. As to where when I did her hair, it was in the comforts of our home watching a PG appropriate program, period, right? So it's a difference. So when I said to Dad, don't do her hair, tell your grandma, that should have been transmitted to grandma and it should have stopped. But it didn't. It continued. It continued. So not only is that disrespecting me and how I feel, but it's making me look weak. Right? Fix it. Jesus, y'all know I ain't weak. I'm from the east side. Choo-woo, right? But yeah, that's what it does. And that's how the child views you. Right? So now they formulating their opinion on how they feel. Now they judging. Now they stay in your place, grandma. Right? So didn't respect my wishes. Still took her to this. Yeah, so fix it, Jesus. Fix it. And I just had a situation like this with my own grandbaby, right? I love doing hair, so I braid little girl's hair every weekend, right? So my grandbaby was over this past weekend and she wanted me to do her hair, right? So I asked permission from the mom if it was okay for me to do her hair. Why? Because that's her child. Second of all, every time I see my granddaughter's hair, it's done, right? Meaning that her mom ain't got no problem doing her hair. So for me to just go and take it down and just do it, I'm stepping on toes, I'm crossing boundaries, I'm all in out of my lane, right? Like coming this way because I'm in the wrong lane, right? Yeah, I asked her permission. Now, I might not do it. I might do it regardless if I do it or not. I got mom's permission to do her hair. Because what if she felt like I felt? That was bonding time when I did my daughter's hair, right? That was bonding time for me. That was bonding time for her sister because I had them doing each other's hair. It was no need for her, the grandma, to take her to get her hair done. Why? Because every time she synced her hair was done. So that means when I sent her over there and her hair done, grandma taking her hair down and taking her to the shop as if what I did was not good enough. How her hair wasn't pretty. Yeah, grandparents, you don't do that. You don't do that. Yeah. You got to ask permission sometimes. Right? Respect the parents' wishes. So I think that's it, y'all. I don't talk to y'all enough. Yes, Lord, I'll talk to y'all enough. Tomorrow, you might have tomorrow off. I'm out. Mwah. I can't even say hi to everybody.